Okay, my camera wasn't working, but it is now, so here we go. Hi you guys, it's your girl. I haven't done a card reading in a while, and I really felt called. There's a lot of stuff going on right now, and I normally do these in an effort to be supportive. You know, I see everyone posting about all the stuff that's going on, and that's important and, you know, good, but for someone that's sensitive like me, it's like triggering, and it feels like there's nowhere that's like safe on the internet. And so I try to create a little bit of content to balance that out a little bit and be like, here's a little light to help us move through this period of darkness. So I was like, it's time to fire up the YouTube channel and make a card reading video. I am feeling my Vision Quest Tarot, and then I'm thinking that I might also pull from the Archangel Oracle cards so that we can call on people for support and help during this time. Let's see. I've noticed in past videos when I do my opening on camera, you can really like feel it. So I think that I will do that. Got my candle burning. So let's just start, okay? My name is Jessica Renee Monroe. I'm an Archangel on Virgin Mary. And I call on my guides, guardians, angels, and ancestors to be with me for this reading. I call on the guides of everyone who is meant to find this reading so that they can get the messages and support they are meant to receive. Thank you, Spirit, for showing up for us every step of the way. I already feel better. Okay, so do I want to ask a particular question? I think I'm just going to see what Spirit has to say for us. And I might actually start. I had a flash of this deck in like my third eye while I was shuffling, so I'm just going to have that nearby. Okay, we've got Two of Air, Inner Peace, Eight of Earth, Inner Order, wow. Yeah, one more, although this one. And Seven of Fire, Endurance. Okay, that's interesting. So, I was just watching Nick Lasky's video, which I've shared to my story. So if you're following me, you've probably seen it. I'm pretty sure I shared it. And he was talking about how there's a lot of fiery energy in the astral right now, with Mars. Yeah. So Seven of Fire. So Inner Peace, Inner Order, and Endurance. I think before I go into trying to translate those, I'm going to pull from this deck, the Ancestor Spirit, since it was like, choose me. I don't work with cards all the time. What do you have for us, Spirit? What's the message? Is there more? Okay. So from this deck, which is the Ancestor Spirit Oracle, Jade Sky, I pulled Family Connections, which is kind of what I grimaced at, and Back to Basics. So the impression I'm getting from all of these cards is that, yeah, you know, shit's a little crazy in the astro right now, but we have the power and the wherewithal to center and find balance. We can cultivate inner peace and return to the inner order that's within us. And then once we've done that, you really do have to kind of center and nourish and support. Then we can continue with the endurance and like marching forward. family connections, and back to basics. So what I'm getting from that is that, we have family systems to support us, right? That's kind of the purpose and the beauty of being part of a community or a family. So one way that we might resource ourselves at this time of violence and calamity and change is to turn to the people that we love. That can be people, it can be pets, it can even be your ancestors or your spiritual family if there aren't people or animals around you in your actual life and home and world. Yeah, that's my initial meaning. I'm gonna read in and consult the guidebook, so hang tight. Okay, so just reading the guidebook entries for the first 3 cards. It's pretty much what I thought, like turn to the resources that you have within. And I was kind of surprised that the endurance card really said it best, so I'm going to share some of that with you. And I thought that this reading was going to be about the big overarching themes and political stuff, but now that I'm thinking about it, I'm actually not surprised that it's really just about our individual and personal lives, because that's how we do the work and make progress as individuals, working on ourselves and tending to our energy fields and frequencies, So without further ado, do not identify yourself too much with problems in your environment. Even if you feel shaken and insecure, you can rely on your inner being's unwavering presence. You can rely on your inner being's unwavering presence. This is not a time to give up. Use the obstacles as an opportunity to grow in consciousness instead of telling yourself they must be insurmountable. Stay centered and focused and allow things to untangle themselves. Your courage is a flame that cannot be extinguished. So, it's pretty much what I said. Let me look at this one. Yeah, this is all coming through pretty clear. So, family connections. It is important to create your own family in whatever way suits you. You may even view your pets as your furry children or family. This card can also be a sign that family members, passed away or living, are trying to contact you. So, little mediumship ping there, perhaps. This card can appear where unresolved negative feelings are associated with a family member. This is a prompt that it is now time to heal. Don't feel guilty for wanting to move forward in your life. You may need to distance yourself from the energy of a family member, and that is okay. Look after yourself and focus on surrounding yourself with people who love, honor, and treat you with the respect you deserve. And then the Back to Basics card, slow down. You do not need to be racing around trying to keep up with the newest trends, products, or what your friends and family have. Remember what is important to you. This card is a reminder to appreciate the simple things. Maybe time to declutter your home, your routine, your lifestyle, or your headspace. So I'm going to bet it's the headspace option, given everything that's going on with the astro and the world at large. But I like how these 2 cards weave together, family connections, and then the Back to Basics card is like, don't be concerned with what other people are doing or expecting or, I was going to say asking, but I didn't really say that. But basically, simplify your life in any ways that you can. My absolute favorite thing about nature is that it always puts my experience into perspective. It's really easy to get stuck in mental energy and really absorbed in our head and our own thoughts and processes, but when you get outside and you take a walk and you see all the trees and all the birds and plants and insects, you realize wow, there's a whole world around me and there's all this stuff going on. It's not just about myself or humanity as a whole. We're part of this whole thriving, living ecosystem. And I don't know, it just always made things not feel so big for me when I realized how small I was in comparison to everything else. And so that would be my recommendation for the best way to my suggestion, I guess, for the best way to find inner peace and inner order so that you can tap into that endurance. But back to basics can be anything. You know, what is back to basics for you? What to you is simplifying and keeping it simple? When life feels crazy and everything is swirling around, the best thing to do is really just to close your eyes, tap into your body and your heart, and look within, you know? Mental energy really has a tendency to pull us up into our heads and out of our body and like swirling around and chaotic. So if you can pull that energy down into your heart is actually a portal in your body, and you can kind of transmute energy there. I think I've done that in past videos. I've walked you guys through how to do that, but it's still useful. So you can visualize the mental energy in your head. For me, I'm seeing like a scrambly, scribbled ball, you know? And just with your breath, pull that down into your heart. And watch what it does there. Maybe it will change while it's in your heart. For me, I'm seeing it kind of devolve and dissolve and settle and dissipate. And then you can even bring it lower down if you really want to get like grounded and connected. Bring it down into like your pelvic area, your womb if you're a woman, your dantian, I believe, if you're a man. But, you know, just kind of where your pelvis is. And tap into the energy of that part of your body. Like, this is where we really live and where a lot of our power resides, like deep in our body. When we're deep in our body, we're present, we're connected, we're showing up for life. And that's the only way we can really make change. When you're coming from a mental space, it's like, it can really tend to be frenetic and ungrounded and disconnected if it's too mental. And I feel like the message here is to reconnect and realign. As we connect to and align with ourselves, it's my experience and belief that we connect to the all that is and source, you know, whatever your spiritual practice is. Like, that's the whole point of meditation, right? Is to get clear, and then we realize we're not separate from everything, we're part of the whole. It's the same thing as what I was just saying about being out in nature, and it's the same thing with my experience of Reiki. I really feel like, oh, I have goosebumps. I really feel like that's the message that's trying to come through, is like connection and peace and love are always available to us. And that's been my biggest lesson as a 4. In the past, I've been really in my head, ruminating, isolated, heartbroken, disconnected, like really ill. And Reiki and my spiritual journey has really led me to an awareness, a visceral and experienced state of like, God, whatever, is around us all the time and is in everything and really just wants to help us. And so if we can tap in and connect to our bodies, maybe meditate, maybe do that little thing I just walked us through, see if you can't find some sort of connection there. Connection to yourself, but connection also to outside of yourself, you know? Because we're all connected. And in times like this where there's really awful things happening, we can tend to get overwhelmed and withdraw and isolate, but like, that just, I think, causes more pain and suffering, and we don't need that. That's the opposite of what we need. So that's my advice to you. I hope you're doing okay. I know it's intense right now. I've been struggling with anxiety and mental energy myself. I feel it. I understand. Really buckle down on your self-care and grounding practices, you know? Take a walk. Be with your pets, be with nature, be with flowers, be with crystals. Eat food that's from the earth, plant-based. You know, if you're really looking to ground, like a potato. And remember, you know, it's an illusion that we're separate. Really, we're all connected all the time. God's always here with us and around us, spirit, source, like it's woven into everything. And I often think of Shiva and Kali when it comes to crazy, destructive stuff happening, forest fires, all the shit. Like, we attach so much meaning to things, and humans are really responsible for a lot of like fucked up shit, but I think sometimes we expect life to not be violent and like destructive, but you can't expect that, you know? And even when we look into the energy of our own experience in life, like, humans are kind of aggressive and violent when push comes to shove. Our nervous systems, we're predators, we're animals, you know? So like, the real work is cultivating that beauty and that peace and that connection inside of ourselves instead of getting disconnected. Because when we're in this mental space, we tend to be stressed out and more kind of in that fight, predatory kind of space, and that's not what we're trying to do. It's the opposite of what's going to fix the problem. So, let's see. Is there anything else? I feel like I said it all. I love you guys. I hope this helps.